show you my toys.
Hey, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're looking at the NECA Pennywise the Dancing Clown from It. This is, what is this, the 5th Pennywise they've made so far. We've got the regular It, we've got the bloodied up It, we've got the Ultimate Wellhouse It, we've got the old Tim Curry It. They've also made the accessory pack. They have a black and white It upcoming and an Ultimate Tim Curry It. Boy, will the It collection be massive by the time it's done. And they haven't even started making figures for the second movie. So it's a really cool looking box. You can see It, Pennywise, the Dancing Clown. I might just have to keep this box for a background for my Joker base. It looks pretty cool. Let's check out the packaging. Here on the top, it simply says It. On the side, pretty much the exact same thing. Other side, same thing. On the bottom, we've got a barcode as well as a bunch of credits. Here in the back, you can see the picture, all of its different various interchangeable parts, heads, accessories, different action poses it can do. Very creepy looking guy here. You can see his all those hands come out of his mouth. He's got the sort of spider claws. You can see him with his regular creepy head as it is right here. His sort of demonized head. Just absolutely magnificent figure. Looks pretty creepy. I'll tell you, this clown is almost creepier than the It clown as it is. Now this is an Ultimate figure. It's in this window packaging and it opens differently than I was used to. Usually they open on the right hand side. This one opens from top to bottom. Kind of cool. You can see here's the figure on the inside with all of his glory. Here he is posed up with a cardboard piece. Then here he is. He comes with the figure as a whole. These crazy arms. He's got 3 alternate heads, a total of 4 of them. Then, of course, if you do want, you can set them with the regular arms and hands below. So, with no further ado, let's open him up and see how he stacks up with the previously released It figures. Alright, well now we got this figure out of the package. Here he is, laid out with all of his accessories in front of him. And he does come with quite a bit of stuff. You can see here he is with his sort of spider-esque, grotesque hands. He has 3 alternate heads, totaling 4 heads. He's got alternate, regular sort of arms, and then even additional hands. And then here's the figure broken down as far as he can go with all of his removable parts detached. So now let's take a closer look at his accessories. Let's go ahead and start off by checking out his various arms. Alright, well here he is with his sort of insectoid hands. These things look pretty good, great detail, creepy, scary. Imagine something coming to you with hands like this. My God. If you see here, detail looks absolutely amazing. Really like the way it looks. They're also articulated. So the way they attach is below the double jointed elbow so they don't interfere with any of that articulation. You can still move up and down and they can even swivel where they attached. But it even has articulation here. You can see it can go pretty much all the way out, and it can go more than 90 degrees inside. Pretty cool there, if I may say so. And boy, this guy can extend himself out pretty far. There's this figure that Mezco made a long time ago in one of their horror lines called Roach Girl. She's from one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. She'd be great to compare this guy to. I don't have her. Maybe one day I'll track her down. So then, as you can see, with his arms detached, they're here below the elbow. Then attach his regular looking forearms, and now you're ready to try his different interchangeable hands. This particular Pennywise comes with a pair of fisted hands, as well as a pair of open hands. I think it would have been nice if they gave us a hand that could hold something, but you do have the previous Pennywise releases to swap hands out with as well. And just like I thought, here he is wearing 2 of the hands that came with the first NECA Pennywise release, so you can definitely swap out any of his parts with prior releases. Next, let's check out this guy's heads. As you can see here, he's got 4 of them. First one here, he's got a sinister grin exposing his teeth. Next one here, he's got all kind of hands coming out of his mouth. Next one here is kind of demonic, sort of the light or whatever you want to call it. And then we've got the dancing clown from the creepy photo. So let's check out this head first. This is the most normal looking head of his, and that's weird to say considering how creepy it looks. You can see he's got a big old grin, his teeth out there. Kind of the default Pennywise look though, at least compared to the other heads here. Next we've got this head here with all these arms coming out, trying to escape, looking absolutely disgusting, terrifying, terrorizing. Just look at that there. Absolutely ridiculous looking, over the top. This next head here, sort of opening up, and then you can see the light inside. Looks very bizarre. Completely opening up, just weird. Kind of reminiscent of Duck in some ways. And you can see on the inside it's got sort of a textured in part. One really cool thing about this head, and this is something that either I wasn't aware of or had forgotten about, is that it has a light up feature. I was kind of surprised to find that out when I opened this. Like I said, maybe I read about it at one point and had just forgotten. So you have to take the back part of his head off. Here's the hair piece that was removed. And then there's a plastic tab you remove so it works for the first time. You can see you can unscrew some if you need to change out the battery. A little button on there. And then here he is with his light up feature, as you can see here. And then here he is with his light up head completely in the dark. And then here it is as it would look in the semi-dark room. And then here's the fourth head. This is the dancing clown head. This is from a creepy painting early on in the film. Looks really, really weird. Creepy, creepy smile, abstract face. And in addition to that, you can take any of the heads from the previous release Pennywise figures and put on this guy. Here's a head from the first release, kind of one of the most basic default heads. Fits on this guy just fine. And then speaking of Pennywise heads, boy have they given us a lot through all the releases. We've got a combined total of 14 heads from the 2018 film alone, in addition to the 4 heads from the 90s film. As you can see here, these are from the original Pennywise release. These are from the Bloodied Up GameStop exclusive. These are from the Well House edition. This is from the accessory set. These here are from the Dancing Clown edition. And then of course the last 4 here are from the 90s Tim Curry version. And these are not all the heads they're going to release. There's a San Diego Comic-Con black and white It coming out, as well as another Tim Curry, in addition to the numerous releases you know they're going to make for Chapter 2. And then here's a better close-up look at all the different heads. These 3 here are from the first release. The next 2 are from the bloodied GameStop version. The next 4 are from the Well House. The next 1 is from the accessory set. The next 4 are from this Dancing Clown version. And then the last 4 are from the Tim Curry 90s version. Now that we have taken a very in-depth look at his accessories, next let's check out the height of this figure. This figure here measures up to be just a tad under 7.5 inches, between 7.25 and 7.5 inches. These NECA figures are typically the 7-inch scale. And then when we're looking at from one of his arachnoid arms to the other side, we're looking at about 19 inches wide. Next, let's check out this figure's articulation. Starting with his head here, of course his head, it can go around from side to side. It can look down about that far and up about that far. Now his shoulders, they are obstructed by this ruffly stuff here. They can still go out about that far. There's a ball joint inside of there, and they can completely go around. He's got a bicep cut right here. Then he's got double jointed elbows. There's this joint sort of between the forearm and the bicep. He has a swivel at the top of it. There's also a swivel at the bottom of it. And then each side here can go in, allowing him to do a lot of cool things with his hand, be creepy, touch himself, cover up his mouth, scratch his head. He's got sort of a waist swivel here. It can go around. Not only that, but it can go up and down, giving him a fair range of motion in his torso. His hands, they can go around. They're on kind of a ball inside of there that has a hinge, so they're hinged as well. His legs, they can go out about that far, definitely not 90 degrees. Obstructed from this a little bit. You can kind of see how the articulation is. He has a ball between his sort of crotch area and his thigh. They can go forward that far and back, not too much. Then he's got double jointed knees. He's got a swivel on the top. And of course they can go like that and all the way back around. Then his feet, they can go up and down from side to side with a tilting motion. Next, I was going to look at the figure reuse from previous Pennywises, but honestly there's no point. It's all reuse. There's absolutely nothing new from this guy except for maybe some of the hands, definitely some of the different heads, but the body is 100% the same. They just altered a couple of the joints so you can pull them out, as some of the previous releases did not have that feature on the forearms, for example. Next, I would like to compare him to other action figures, starting with all the It and Pennywise figures that I have, and then looking at him compared to a bunch of other clown figures from various different action figure companies. Now, NECA has got me all in as far as these It figures go. So far there have been 6 releases, and we are aware of 2 more upcoming, being the black and white 2018 Pennywise, as well as the second 90s Tim Curry version. We've got the original, bloodied, Wellhouse, Dancing Clown, accessory set, and the 90s over there. Here he is with some Doink the Clown figures from Jakks Pacific Wrestling Figures. I had these guys for a really long time. I bought them to use as Joker thugs in my Batman world. Now I'm pretty obsessed with clown action figures, as I just can't get enough for my Joker gang. Here he is next to a couple of McFarlane Akira clown figures. And then here he is next to a Twisted Metal Sweet Tooth clown action figure. And then here he is compared to a bunch of Captain Spaulding action figures from Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. These are all NECA action figures except for this first one here. This is from some company called SEG Toys. I'm not really familiar with the company. They probably don't make toys anymore. There is a variant t-shirt version of this guy here that I never got. He's like a pig or something on the t-shirt instead. And then here he is next to a couple of Play With Me ICP action figures. And then here he is next to this clown action figure named Boss Man. He was sort of a boss at work with a devil and clown face, kind of a joke figure. And then here he is next to some Mattel Elite Doink the Clown wrestling action figures. And then here he is with a bunch of clown fans. Here he is next to some pretty nice 6 and 7 inch Joker action figures. And then here he is next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles clownish action figures. We've got Harley Quinn here, then Mime and Marionette. And then here he is next to Mr. Hammer and a bunch of clown thugs from DC Direct, the Arkham City line. And then here he is next to a couple of Bank Robber Joker Mafex figures. I use these guys as Joker thugs in my Batman world. And then here he is next to a whole bunch of Mattel Movie Master Joker thug action figures. So overall it is a very solid figure. The accessories are great and plentiful. The heads are really, really cool. But I must say I'm getting a little bit tired of them releasing more and more Pennywise figures with more and more ultimate, different accessories, etc. If I were to rate this figure, I'd go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. It is a very nice figure, but I am definitely tired of Pennywise at this point. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comments. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.